Today we're going to talk about painting station efficiency, and away we go. So here I've got my water dish, my lamp, my palette, and I just use these, kind of wax top hard paper plates, which is great. Some people like to actually have a palette and then they clean it off and then they throw it away. We spend 10 minutes cleaning it, so why not just spend 2 cents and just get rid of it entirely? So anyway, so some people will spend $2 worth of labor to clean a $2 palette, and that just makes absolutely literally no sense. So anyway, and then of course my napkin or paper towel that I folded into quarters here. So big mistake I see painters make is they scatter their paint area, and so for example they'll be painting right-handed and they'll actually cross the miniature, like they'll have this over here, they'll cross the miniature to get to whatever their paint is. So what you really want is you want something where you can brace your hands on the edge and everything's nice and tight. So you've got like a group of figures here and you're doing like one stage, and then you put them on the other side and another stage. So mind your hand movements to be sure that it's not more than 3 to 6 inches to get to whatever you want. So look at this. So I'd have my color on, I paint this. This, even though it seems tight, could actually be closer like that. So without moving your wrists more than maybe an inch or two, I can get to wherever I need to go. So mind this section and how far it has to move in order to perform your different operations. Because if you're painting, say, 80 figures, something that takes you 10 seconds extra is going to noticeably add on to your time. So if it takes you 10 seconds extra per stage, and you've got 10 stages, let's say 6 stages, that's 60 seconds times 80 figures means it's going to take you well over an hour longer than it normally would have in order to complete that. So you got to keep everything in nice and tight, almost like eating rice with chopsticks. That's how close you want everything. Also, same thing with your paints. It's good to have your paints organized in a certain way so you don't have to really look too much to be able to find what you need. Some people, they have like this big bin. The worst thing ever is a bin of paints that are all just in there, and to look for one you see someone kind of pawing through it like this. And that's no good. You got to have them like, so I've seen some people put these Vallejo paints bottom up so they can see the color really easily rather than pulling each one out and going, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Is this black? Oh no, that's black gray. And so that it's inefficient. Some people put a little dot on the top. For a project, I will pull out the 7 or so paints that I need and actually keep them really close to my palette so that I don't have to go digging for them each time. Your lamp, if you have a lamp that's very hot, do mind your forehead, that you don't burn your forehead on it. And but you do want your lamp to actually kind of get over the miniature. Otherwise, it's just backlighting it. It's really not the best. I've seen some people use 2 lamps at an angle. Personally, I like this kind because it's very flexible. You can get it from lots of different angles. So that's really a nice feature. Let's talk about water dishes. So I've seen some people use, like, I wish I had one to show you, like a cup. A cup is the worst, and here's why. Because you have to go up and over the edge, and then you can't really see what you're doing in there, and it's just inefficient to get in and out, especially if you have to wet your paints. In fact, a good trick is to take the bottom of your brush and just get a little drop of water or 3, and then you can work with the water actually on your palette, so that's less of a distance than going in and just trying to, wet the very tip of your brush, because you don't get a lot of control with that either. So water dishes, this one's very deep and will hold a lot of water, which is nice because you want the excess pigment to disperse in the maximum amount of water. I believe in rinsing out your water and replacing your water very often. I have seen people keep 2 dishes, one for rinsing and another one for light use. So they have one that's kind of darker and utilitarian and one that's lighter. So this, back to water dish shape and size, this is not that awesome because you have to get up and over the edge. This is nice because it's low, but it's not very big. And then this one is actually super awesome because it is low, it'll hold a lot of water, And also it has 2 compartments, which is nice. So you can do one for like rough rinsing, and then one for light rinsing, and then actually mixing in with your paint, so you don't end up with extraneous pigments in your paint, which is nice. Another little tip, when you're cleaning your brushes, don't jam them against the bottom of the thing. And that's like 10 times as bad when the person hasn't cleaned their water dish and and the pigments just have accumulated down there like a bunch of sludge. That is so incredibly not awesome. And all right, one last tip about efficiency and setting up your paint station. Actually 2. One is take the brushes that you're going to use, and I put them actually on my cloth here, my paper towel, so that those will be more readily accessible. I usually keep 4, and then of course you can just flip your paper towel, make it new, turn it inside out, and then, but change these often. I see painters who, you know, they use the same old dirty cloth over and over again, and I just don't understand that. So paper towels are not that expensive. Okay, the last thing is posture. First off, it's nice. Oftentimes I'll actually put like a bin or a box so that the height of the table is right about at the lower part of my rib cage. So about 4 inches taller than your typical table will be good for a person of about my height, which is 6 feet. So don't, you know, you can't, if you feel yourself really having to bend down to get to your miniature, that means your situation isn't any good. If you have an adjustable chair, you can cross your legs and then take it all the way down. But that's not as good as actually raising your area, because that'll make your posture have to be a little bit straighter. And plus you'll be able to see the model more at eye view. It'll bring everything closer to you. The other position I call hunched gargoyle, which is you move your chair out a little bit. You rest your elbows on your thighs and your wrists on the edge of the table. And this gives you a lot of really good stability, and also can be comfortable for an extended period of time. And the other thing is to get a chair with armrests. Adjustable armrests are really nice, and that way you can just kind of play it by ear, get really comfortable with your workstation, and definitely keep it all in very tight. And those are my tips for having an efficient and comfortable painting station.